Chapter 14 Dog Feet. Uncle Feather had broken a wing. He'll be in a splint for 4 weeks. If he crashed into the window head first, he might be dead by now. Instead, he crashed sideways. The vet says he's a lucky bird. He should make a full recovery. In the meantime, he's yakking away, making up for the weeks he didn't talk at all. Maybe flying into the window gave him something to talk about. Who knows what goes on in Uncle Feather's head? I reached Dad on his cell phone and he met us at the animal hospital. When he got there, Howie said, "Well, Tubby, your boys handled this very well. Peter showed he can think fast in an emergency situation, and Fudge was calm and helpful." Dad hugged Fudge and me. "I'm very proud of my boys, Howie." "You must be doing something right," Howie said, "although I can't imagine what it is." When we got back home, the apartment was neat and clean, not a sign of bird poop anywhere. Eurodora was dressed and making sandwiches for lunch. Tootsie was napping, and Minnie was parked in front of the tube. "And I don't want to hear one word about it, Howie," Eurodora said. "He's watching the Discovery Channel." "Discovery Channel," Howie said. "Well, at least that sounds educational." "Yes, it is," Eurodora said. "I'm sure our little Farley will learn a lot. And in case you were wondering, I've given Flora and Fauna permission to spend another night at the Tubmans." "Well, Cousin Howie said, I can see you're feeling perky today." "Yes, I am," Eurodora said, "very perky." We put Uncle Feather back in his cage and gave him some pear. He seemed confused at first, but not too confused to eat. "You're a lucky bird," Howie told him. "Lucky, lucky," Uncle Feather said. Minnie laughed. "Bird talks." Cousin Howie held Minnie in his arms so he could see inside the cage. "You understand, don't you, that you can't let that bird out again?" Minnie didn't say anything. "If you don't understand," Howie said, "you can't come into Fudge's room to watch his bird." Minnie still didn't say anything, but he licked the side of Cousin Howie's face. "Good," Howie said. "I'm glad you understand." That's it, I thought. He thinks he can trust Minnie, just because Minnie licked his face. Fudge said, "One time in Maine, I let Uncle Feather out of his cage when it wasn't free time." "Then you understand the temptation, don't you, Fudge?" Cousin Howie said. "And you don't blame our little Farley for what happened?" "He shouldn't have done it," Fudge said. "You're right," Cousin Howie said. "Farley shouldn't have done it, but he learned his lesson and he's never going to do it again. Isn't that right, Farley?" "Lucky bird," Minnie said. "Lucky bird, lucky. Cousin Howie," I said, "maybe we should have a rule that Minnie can only watch Uncle Feather when someone's watching him." "Ordinarily, I say that makes sense," Cousin Howie said, "but in this case it's not necessary." "Minnie's not even 4 years old," I said, in case Cousin Howie needed reminding. "No matter," Cousin Howie said. "He understands." I could see there was no point in arguing with Cousin Howie. After lunch, Fudge pulled me aside and said, "Let's play a game, Pete. How about Spit?" "No, thanks. It was a mistake for Sheila to teach him to play that card game. He thinks instead of calling out the word spit, when he's out of cards, he's actually supposed to do it. He taught Reggie Potter to play, and they wound up having a spitting contest. It was disgusting." "Okay," Fudge said. That's how. Then how about Monopoly?" "It's not Monopoly, it's Monopoly. And you need more than 2 players to have a good game. Besides, you steal from the bank." "Come on, Pete, I won't steal." He gave me his best little boy in the world look. "You promise?" I asked. "I promise." I gave in, figuring if ever he deserved a reward for good behavior, this was it. Besides, I knew the game would be over in less than an hour. Playing Monopoly with Fudge is like playing basketball with your dog. He really doesn't get it. He's only interested in owning Boardwalk and Park Place. "I'll buy that," he said when he landed on Park Place today. He already owned Boardwalk, but it was mortgaged. "Plus, I'll buy 2 hotels." "You can't build houses or hotels until you pay off the mortgage," I told him. "Anyway, you don't have enough money to buy anything." "Oh, yes, I do." He pulled out a wad of Fudge bucks from his pocket. "We only use Monopoly money when we're playing Monopoly." "Okay, then I'll just make a quick stop at the ATM." "There is no ATM in Monopoly." "Well, there should be," he argued. "But there isn't," I told him. "Fine, I'll use my credit card." "What credit card?" "The one Grandma gave me." "Grandma gave you a credit card?" He pulled it out of his other pocket and waved it around. "Too bad she didn't give one to you, Pete." "Let me see that." I grabbed it out of his hand. "This card is 10 years out of date," I said. "Grandma should have thrown it away a long time ago." "I don't care," Fudge said. "Well, I do, and even if it was still good, you couldn't use it for Monopoly. This is a game, not real life." I took my turn and landed on Pennsylvania Railroad. I already owned it. Then it was Fudge's turn. As he shook the die, he started to sing, "Oh, money, 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 I love money, money, money." He threw the dice. Double fours. He moved 8 spaces and landed on community chest. He picked up a card. Second prize in beauty contest, Pete. He held out his hand. $10, please. Then he threw the dice again. When Mom got home from work, Eurodora had a big pot of chili simmering on the stove, and the table in the alcove set for dinner. Mom looked surprised and pleased. Eurodora said, "It's the least we could do. You've been so generous to us, and with the accident and all." "Accident?" Mom asked, and the expression on her face changed. "What accident?" "Oh, Anne," Eurodora said, "I'm so sorry. I thought you knew." "Knew what?" Mom said, growing more worried. "Is everyone all right?" Fudge tore across the room and jumped into Mom's arms. "It's Uncle Feather, Mom. He broke his wing. He has to wear a splint for 6 weeks. I helped Pete and Cousin Howie take him to the animal hospital. Did you know there's no ambulance for birds?" "Wing," Mom said. "But how?" Dad came into the room and put his arm around Mom. "Uncle Feather's going to be all right," he told her. "But it's a long story, honey," Fudge said, doing a perfect imitation of Dad. Before Dad had the chance to fill her in on what happened, the doorbell rang. "I wonder who that could be," Mom asked. "She always says that instead of just opening the door and finding out for herself." While she was wondering, I went to the door and looked through the peephole, and caught a glimpse of Jimmy and his father. "Hey," I said, opening the door. "This is a surprise." "It's supposed to be," Jimmy said. Then he helped Frank Fargo carry in a huge flat package wrapped in brown paper. "For you," Mr. Fargo said, presenting it to Mom. "For me?" Mom asked. "Well, actually for the whole family," Mr. Fargo said. "What could it be?" Mom asked. "See for yourself," Mr. Fargo told her. "Come on, Mom," I said, helping her tear off the brown wrapping paper. "Oh, Frank," Mom got all choked up when she saw what was inside. It was one of the paintings from his show, Baby Feet Blueberry, the original painting Tootsie walked across. "We can't accept such a—" Mr. Fargo didn't wait for her to finish. "Think of it this way, Anne," he said. "Without Tootsie there wouldn't have been any show." "That's just what Dad says," Fudge told Mr. Fargo. Dad turned red and laughed. "It's fabulous, Frank, and more than generous." "It would look perfect over our living room sofa," Mom said. "We've been saving for a piece of art, but with money being so tight these days—" "What's tight money?" Fudge asked. "Never mind," Mom said. "Come on, Mom. If it's about money, I have to know." "Tight means that there's not a lot to spend," Mom explained it softly. "Or it could mean somebody's really cheap," I told him, "like a tight wad." "Thank you, Peter," Mom said, and from her tone I knew I should stay out of this. "But we're talking about a money situation here, not how a person feels about spending it." "I love it when we talk about money," Fudge said. "What's a wad?" "This is hopeless," Mom said. "I can see that," Mr. Fargo answered. "So let's skip the chit-chat and hang the painting." Dad helped Mr. Fargo center Baby Feet Blueberry over the sofa while Mom eyed it. "A little higher. No, that's too high. About an inch lower. Yes, that's it." Then we all stood back to admire the painting. Eurodora said, "Why, it looks as if it was meant to hang in that very spot." Cousin Howie said, Is it my eyes, or are those swirls of color moving?" "They're supposed to look as if they're moving," Mr. Fargo said. "Well, I'll be," Howie said. Then Fudge told Jimmy about Uncle Feather's accident, and the 3 of us went to Fudge's room to check him out. Minnie was standing on the step stool watching over him. "Nice bird," Minnie said. "Lucky bird." "Nice bird," Uncle Feather repeated. "Lucky bird." "He's talking again?" Jimmy asked. "Yeah," I said. "Just like that?" "Yeah." "How come?" "Nobody knows." "Nobody knows. Nobody knows." "I know," Minnie said. I looked at him. "You know what?" "Why the bird can talk." "Who told you?" I asked. "The bird," Minnie said. "The bird told you why he was talking again?" I said. Minnie nodded. "What'd he say?" I asked. "Can't tell," Minnie said. "Why not?" "Promised." "Promised who?" "The bird," Minnie said. Then he laughed like crazy, sounding exactly the way Fudge did when he was that age. He was even starting to look like Fudge. How come I never noticed that before? Fudge collected a stack of paintings from one of his shelves. He carried them into the living room and presented them to Mr. Fargo. Dog feet red, dog feet blue, dog feet green, and dog feet purple. Mr. Fargo paid careful attention to each of Fudge's paintings. "They are very good," he said. "They show a lot of promise." I moved closer to check them out, and what did I see? Paw prints. Every single painting was covered with paw prints. "Wait a minute," I said to Fudge. "How did you get—" Fudge laughed. "It was so easy, Pete. Turtle-like walking across my paintings." Fudge laughed. You use my dog for your paintings? You want to buy one, Pete? They're for sale. 3 zeros for each one." "You know how much 3 zeros adds up to?" "Yeah, Pete," Fudge said. "More than 2 zeros."